Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you an initial checkout video of a Snoopy telephone, Snoopy in Woodstock, and it's an original. And Clark sent this telephone in from Arizona. And basically, Clark's got a letter here, and he has said something to the effect, and I've also talked to him about Snoopy having a broken arm. And Snoopy sure looks like he does have a broken arm. So basically what we're going to do here, since this is the initial checkout, is I'm going to go ahead and start taking Snoopy apart. And we're going to get a look at his arm here real quick. So I'm just going to kind of take this thing apart real quick. And Snoopy is a really cool telephone. We get quite a few of these in, and they're still around because they made a quality product back in the days, and Snoopy is very sought after. I think I actually see more Snoopy telephones than I do Mickey, and Snoopy, I think, is worth a little bit more money than Mickey is. So now we've got into the bottom of the telephone here. This kind of gives you a little look at what's going on with the PC board. I'll show you that real quick. They made a couple of different versions of Snoopy and Mickey and all the rest of the characters. And some of these boards will be different in the keypads, and some of them had the old network, and some of them had the bell in it. This one has the piezo buzzer. I'll show you here real quick. This one doesn't have the bell. This is like a later model. But they're all cool, and the bodies are all pretty much original to the very first ones they put out. So they're all considered pretty much of the same age. What we're going to do here is take off some of the nuts that they have going up the linkage tube. Go ahead and pop them off real quick. I want to get a look and see how bad Snoopy's arm is. They break in a couple of different places. I've seen, well, quite a few different places, but you never really know until you get these guys apart and take a look at it. A lot of times there's really no parts for these unless you get a phone that is for parts, and they're hard to find also because they're so sought after that most people do not want to part these telephones out. And I get people that ask me all the time, where can you get parts to telephones? Well, you either have to know somebody that saved a bunch of phones up over the years, or you have to be, I mean, I've been repairing phones for so long that I've got quite a few parts. But there's just not like a company you can go to buy parts. And this is basically what you're going to see at the bottom of this guy. There's going to be a spring. I've seen guys that worked on, you know, now I've been to other shops and stuff where guys will kind of mess around and work on phones a little bit, but they never really stick with it. But this spring always kind of freaks them out because what happens is it'll shoot out at you. And sometimes there's broken parts that come with it. But anyway, that's basically what we have left of the body, and we want to start taking Snoopy apart here and pull this down. There's a couple of different ways to get all there's a lot of plugs in Snoopy here, and some of these are buried, so I may have to do a second video. They've got them pushed down here pretty far, and we're probably going to have to take him apart, because generally what would happen is everything would come out here, but it may still be somewhat attached to Snoopy. So probably what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up having to do another video of this, because I'm going to have to work on getting these little plugs out. These plugs here, what they would do is put the screws in, and then they would take the plugs and put them in behind. And a lot of times you can go in and grab these plugs and then pull them out. And some of them are down a little too far, I've noticed. And that might be, that might not be good. So we'll have to work on this. I'll try to do a little bit here while I'm on the video on this initial checkout, but I might have to do, some of these plugs just look very deep, and I don't think you're just going to get them out real simple. So I'll work on it a little bit, see if we can't get them. And you thought these were for just sewing. They aren't. Basically, these were really for guys with shops, you know, that are working on something all the time, and the women found out about them, and now they use them in sewing. So let me try to get this last one out here. I don't think Snoopy knew he was going to the dentist today, but basically he is. And that one came out too. So if you see what I'm doing here, I've got a little bend on the end of my needle. And that always helps with taking them off. Now, we're going to see how far we can get here with taking him apart. But anyway, like I was going to say earlier, you know, even when you try to find parts for these, if you're lucky enough to find parts for them, and I have bought them from a supplier that I know of that has some things for these types of phones, and they'll be broke. So it's usually what happens is we just take the pieces and repair them, because I've even had my supplier come to me with broken ones, and I've repaired them for him, and what he'll do is just sell them, but they're sold as a repaired item. And basically what happens is he will there's one under the tail. Basically what happens is he'll sell them repaired, but I'll repair them for him. Sometimes people don't know that I've gotten these in where they've actually broke Snoopy because they didn't realize there under his tail there's a screw. So that kind of gives you a look at the inside of this unit. And sure enough, he's broke pretty good. He's totally broken half here, and you can see kind of what happens here. This is really pretty much jammed. And what we'll have to do, I'll go ahead and take Snoopy's hand off and his arm. These are built pretty well, but the thing is due to age and having the leverage with his arm and hand sticking out, basically it just wears and tears on these parts. And it's amazing that they lasted as many years as they did. But you can see here, it's almost like a twist brake, because this would fit here. You got a piece broken out off the bottom here and a piece off the top, and that would kind of fit in here like this. So it almost like twisted and broke at the same time. The bottom of one part and yet the top of the other. So it's just a common brake. I see this a lot. They don't always break in the same area, but you kind of get the idea of what happens here. They eventually do break, and this is in the area. You'll have a lot of different tubes and stuff come out at you. This is all linkage. But you kind of get the idea of what's going on. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and repair it. And usually after I repair these, you won't have any problems with them after that, because I try to strengthen them up as when we do the repair, the actual repair. But I'm kind of just setting it back into place here to show you in the video. Here's another piece. They just keep dropping out. It's like a never-endless piece of linkage. But anyway, this is pretty common to what goes on when the arm breaks. Now, you know, usually these are a couple of different colors of gray, and if I've seen the green one before, this tube here for the linkage encasement, you know, I probably forgot about it because I've worked on so many of them, but this almost looks like it might have come out of a Kermit the Frog or something. You know, if they needed a little extra parts, I guess they probably went to another bin and just pulled it out, but it's green, and that's not usually the color of them, so that's kind of different. But this part here that actually holds the arm into place and your little bracket is basically the same type of piece. But anyway, we'll do a little more video on this, and we'll kind of go through some things and try to do some other videos of this as we work on this telephone. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you.